Welcome back, everybody, to this long video. I'm just doing this thing a little bit beforehand. This is how Cinder is ruining her career. Of course, I'm going to go through everything, a full rundown of everything. But of course, the first thing I want to say is these are all my opinions, and these are all accusations until proven otherwise. There's a lot of evidence here, but of course, I want to say that, and of course, to also not send any hatred or anything. I do hope that with this video and other videos I put out, I do earn your subscription. So of course, please like, subscribe, and everything like that up in the YouTube section as well. Thank you. Cinder has been someone who is very beloved in the VTuber community, at the very least in the indie VTuber community, and she has, of course, done a lot to get that, of course, with her kindness, her bubbly personality, things like that. But she has found a way, because of her own failings, I think her own personal failings, to ruin her reputation and to have 3 different documents, I believe 3 or 4 at this point, different documents coming out against her. This all started when Nanoless, who is this person here, who is someone who does a lot of art and rigging and such for various different people. A lot of the indies use her, and a lot of the people use them. I believe it's her. They use them for a lot of the things that they do. They are very well respected and very well liked. They dropped a bombshell recently, though. Hello, I'm here to share something that has affected me personally and hurt others. This was very hard for me, but I feel it is necessary. Please do not send hate to anyone on my behalf. That's all I want to say. This is about things that Cinder and her boyfriend, I don't know if it's ex at this point, but it has been confirmed that Redacted, which is the person that is her manager, was also her boyfriend at one point. We all know that there is a risk when you mix business and pleasure, when you mix that type of thing. Yes, you will think, yes, he's my significant other. They will look out for me in the best way possible. But once you mix emotions, once you mix that and your business, that becomes an issue. What are we talking about here? Talking about sharing experience with Sinder and Red. I'm going to give you as much of a short one as I can, because I read this before. I read a lot of these before. Just giving you a big thing. Basically, in the whole thing that I'm going to be showing you here, it is alleged, with, of course, some evidence, that with receipts, that Redacted and Cinder were trying to actively block Bao the Whale, who is supposedly a friend, from getting anything with Nanoless or any other people, saying things like she is, she's trying to take, our editors away. She's, trying to weasel her way into things. I'm paraphrasing here, but I am going to show you the evidence of it. It says, based on working with Redacted, Cinder's manager, and Cinder over the years, that they're sure that they speak about, when they say they, when Redacted says they, them, we, that kind of thing, they're speaking on behalf of Cinder. It is not just this random wild person. This is my take as well. This is my take. This is Bao's take. This is other people's take. It is not just some random person saying, hey, I speak for Cinder. There's someone who was very close to her, a boyfriend, very close in the management side. So they know how Cinder thinks, and they probably ran through with Cinder. Now, of course, this allows Cinder to have a bit of disconnect from it, a bit of plausible deniability, and she's using that right now. Let's go through what we're talking about right now, though. It starts with here. Want to understand it better, especially if I cancel her for the second time. Her talking about Bao. It says, well, with Bao, I'm assuming she's given a lot of bias and priority at Good Smile or GS or Gamer Subs, I think. Gamer Subs. Sometimes over Cinder, and we can't really confront them about it. Plus, she's gone 3D lately. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor a while ago and constantly picking up artists that we work with. We. This is him and Cinder. He's speaking for Cinder. Cinder, of course, knows about this. At least that's what's alleged. Got to know her better, being friends with her, but she really rubs the wrong way, the things she does. We wanted to try and safeguard our most important artist from her, since she's already taken our editor. She hasn't taken an editor. Bao shows later that she just requested, hey, do you want to do this thing or that? And, that thing is going through. It's 31 pages. I'm just going to go over the important parts. You can see here, in fact, I am in order for you guys to read it fully, I am going to put the, you guys can check the tweets, and you guys can check the documents. I'm going to try to put the documents in a comment in, of course, the video. This one's going to be a long one, so, you know, buckle up. And it says, well, we love working with you. Cinder wouldn't be Cinder without Nano. Okay, but like, let me tell you the tea about the music video thing. Bao had originally songs last year that made music videos by her editor, and the songs flopped. So they're saying here, he's saying here, redacted, that both he and Cinder are saying that because of the fact that it flopped, she tried to get the editor, like the editor tried to get with Cinder to do some things for them, and supposedly quote unquote jumping through hoops, and they squeezed them in. The music video did well. Then of course, Boss Rush did really well. When they're free to do the next project, that kind of thing. All of a sudden, he changes his mind and is only working with Bao going forward. No explanation. So they are spilling the tea. They're frustrated that this person who was an editor for Bao and did the Bao music video and did Boss Rush no longer wants to work with them. I don't know why. It's a personal thing. It doesn't necessarily mean they've been hearing bad things from them. And then, of course, context missing, since I know Bao is behind the scenes, know how Bao is behind the scenes, we know. And it says, basically, we didn't have a music video editor. Now, for the next Boss Rush project, we think Bao got angry that her editor did an original song music video for her friends without her knowing. Doesn't sound like Bao to me. And Bao does actually reject these things. And basically, they continue here, as you can see. They continue to badmouth Bao in this whole way. Both Cinder and them basically saying Cinder didn't like it. Cinder thought that it was jealousy. Cinder thought that it was, you know, that kind of thing going on. Now she's been barking up a tree of our Light 2D animators, and you, the Nano model, so annoying, I don't know, man. So they are poisoning the well, so to speak. They're poisoning Nano against Bao by saying, look at all these horrible things she's doing. Look at all these horrible situations that she's been causing us. And of course, accusing Nano of canceling models. Nano arc delayed. I'm scared to cancel with Bao. You shouldn't be. She has so many connections. She'll find someone else. It's like, oh, she'll be fine. It really won't matter. Exclusivity and blacklisting other creators. It goes through here where, like I said, I read this before. This is basically saying that Cinder and Redacted tried to get an exclusivity with Nanoless without paying Nanoless for exclusivity. Basically saying you are trying to get some model exclusivity there. Need to make sustainable for you. They're, of course, asking for at least a monthly. Calculating things. The main things we're looking for are you not take on any brand new model clients and not to make any new models outfits with Bao and other people. You'll still be able to work with models outfits with all your other existing babies, and your artwork comms wouldn't be affected. So they really don't like Bao at this point. One of our concerns is that more Nano babies means Nano models don't have the same value anymore. That is not how this works. That is really diminishing an artist. That is really an asshole behavior. Artists, the more babies they have, it doesn't diminish it. It doesn't diminish the purity of their babies. It just means they have more babies. That's it. When it comes to an artist, the more they can spread their wings, the more they can get known, the better it works for them. It's not like, oh, this one has 100 models, so it sucks. But they're all amazing top tier models. But no, because they have 100 now, it sucks. That's not how this works. That's not how it works. It's not how it should have ever been put out there. Don't have to discount it from the next payment. We'll continue giving you lots of model work. Basically, they're trying to say, we'll compensate you for the loss of Bao. We will just keep paying you. You don't have to work with any of these people. They named 3 people. So this person, Nanoless, redacted some other people because this is all about Bao at the moment. But they have other people that are on their blacklist. Is there any way to add more since blanks last for art every now and then? Basically, they're continuing trying to do this exclusivity, as you can see here. And it is really messed up. This whole thing is really messed up. They imply Lily ignored Cinder when she spent over a minute thanking the raid, which you can see in the clip. They said that Lily, it says right here, I hate we keep bringing it to drama. I feels like we're going to have to compete with Lily if she's ghosting Cinder and wants to take the same model mama. Because they're saying around V-Card's launch, they were talking and collabing. I don't know what happened. But her asking for a model after that, which is weird, even though she said she doesn't plan on getting a new model. Saying Lily is not acknowledging Cinder by name for a raid. Now let's take a look at the raid, because I want to show you that these people are lying.
Okay. Ooh! Oh my goodness! Hello! Oh! Hello, raiders! Hello! I am playing Berserker. It's called The Last Berserker Kazan. We weren't sponsored, but the game was really fun, so I just kept playing for like a million more hours.
You don't have to as a VTuber. You should not expect by name for you to be put in there. I have rated many people. I'm tiny, so maybe you can say it's different. You're tiny. I've rated many people. I've seen many other people be rated by big people. It's like, hey, Raiders, because they're busy doing a game. Hi, Raiders, thank you so much for rating in. That's it. Because you aren't called out by name specifically, that is why you're going to get angry? Nah, dog, it doesn't work that way. Cinder, it doesn't work that way. Sorry for all the questions. It's got to stay informed. And basically, we'll have the demon update list. They're trying to get exclusivity, like I said, here as well. We aren't ones getting a model from the artist, other good smile owner out of the gamer subs, not good smile. Gamer subs owner out of the blue and ghosting them and are refusing to acknowledge them. Basically, they're going back on the whole Lily thing of not acknowledging them. They're going very much in competitiveness. This is really, really petty. It continues on, and here's actually when Nanoless talks to Cinder. Cinder wanted to say sorry for stepping back on the exclusivity deal, wanted to apologize personally for you since I've been talking about it with Red, but I just don't want to be dragged on any personal issues. This was in 2025 when this happened. These other things here, it's a pattern of behavior going back months in this case, years in other cases. Get it, Nano, it was unfair to push this on you. So, Cinder cannot say that she had no idea about the exclusivity thing, about pushing against Bao, about not wanting people to go like Nano to do Bao. This is Cinder specifically showing right here with receipts, specifically saying it was too much to push it on you, which means that the whole Bao thing of not wanting to Nanoless to work with Bao was something that Cinder knew. Caught in 4K, caught red-handed. This absolutely sucks because, as you know, you may or may not know, I have been a victim of a friend that I thought was a friend of 4 years, going behind my back, doing character assassinations of me, doing that kind of stuff, making a Google Doc on me, and all that type of stuff without even contacting me, without even talking to me. If you have any kind of concerns, hell, my community has done this. People that aren't really directly my friends have done this and contacted me. Like, Aiden, like you said this, and like you said that. Talk to me. I talk to you back. Heck, people who hated me after that talked to me. And we talked it out. Something that a friend of 4 fucking years didn't even do to me. This is why this is a personal thing for me too. I hate it when people are like this. I absolutely abhor people who are backstabby. I really hate people who do this. They do not deserve the community that they have if they are this way. They do not deserve it. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how small you are. You are backstabby. You do not deserve the community that you have. I'm sorry that I got a little bit heated there, but this is scummy behavior through and through. And it says, and you said, I understand if things don't work out. It makes me feel like you're okay with not working with me anymore, which hurts. After all this time, really appreciate you, Nano. It's your decision you ultimately work with. Don't really see the point of keep thinking about being compared to blank. You're so much bigger already. You've done so much more. But I would never give blank any priority over you. Also, there's not any model for her being discussed. I just want to sleep clear-minded. I'm also fine not doing her models, but these gamer subs, art stuff would be fine with me. It's not me, but other people's opinions of us, and I'm just trying to not get involved in any drama. Any other people want to talk about comparing us. It says, sorry about this. My mental state is just a bit weak. I want you to get that money. So the thing is, they may not have known about all the back talking and all that type of stuff, but they did know about basically trying to blacklist other VTubers. So that is the way I see it. This is all alleged, but the freaking receipts are right there. It's not just Nanoless being like, hey, this is my random shit. This is the receipts right here. It says here, I understand what it means, but at the end of the day, it's just business. Right here with redacted. It's mainly about this, and it's the redacted thing in regards to the current thing, which is, you know, not to discredit any of your work because every work on top of it is incredible. But when everyone is a Nano baby, it feels a little less special to me. So yeah, then don't get a Nano baby then. It's I don't know what it means, but at the end of the day, it's just business. Of course, we love working with you and want to keep working together. But if you prefer work with other clients instead of me, it's for a reason for you to help grow and not because you don't like me. But you say it's business, but is it really business to be as competitive as you were and to want to get exclusivity for someone else? Is that really business, or is that just being petty and competitive and being a little bit of a, pardon my French, a bitch? It's no personal reason. I would never do something like this to you or anyone. But yeah, it's important for my job to reach out far, and I like working on different projects and people. Now, here's the thing. This is Sinder of 2 years ago. So, people adjust. Now that I called them that name, of course, I apologize for that. But people can adjust. People can get better. People can change. They absolutely can. I have changed in 2 years. I am not the same person I was 2 years ago. Sinder could change 2 years ago. But here's the thing. Do not deflect. Now that I'm a little calmer, do not deflect. Do not try to push it off on redacted. Accept you made mistakes. Accept you were petty. Accept that at that point in time, in 2023, you were being a little bit petty, a little competitive, according to what I'm seeing here. You were not being good. You were not doing well for your friend. You were seeing them as a competitor, as someone that you needed to get something over, as someone who, you needed to beat. That is not good. I do hope she has changed. I do hope things are different. But of course, they're trying to go back on it here, as you can see here. They're trying to go back and be like, oh, we didn't mean it to blacklist everybody else and blah, 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 when they actually started fighting back. Make you do any work for us? That's exactly what you were trying to do. It's basically, I'm sorry you felt that way. I'm sorry you understood us saying what we said to mean that you were going to be exclusive to us. I'm sorry that you took it that way, kind of thing. That's not the way things work. So it's simply business. Normalizing their behavior once again by stating that it's simply business to sabotage VTubers' careers and not work with them and focus on Sinder instead. Thank you for understanding my side. Basically saying here, you're making a living, making a name for yourself. Basically, you have to work with other big names in the industry. After they got that kind of pushback, that's what happened. Want to take it, but I don't want to disrespect Sinder. Just want to do pretty models, not hurt feelings. Business is business. Nano, you're a freelance artist, and Blank is a longtime client. Bao, I'm guessing in this case. Makes sense not doing any work for her. Understand the logistics of it. Maybe they used a past name. Maybe that's why it's been redacted. Appreciate understanding. Didn't think our conversation sounded like I was trying to make you not work with her. That's exactly how it sounded like. You knew exactly how it sounded like. The fact that you got pushback meant that you were backstepping, you're backpedaling a bit. So it is not Nano who's taking it wrong. Damage control again. None of this reaches other VTubers, all kept hush-hush while providing proof that they know what they do is ill-intended and should not get out. So that would cause issues for Sinder's career to be painted in this light. I try to be transparent as much as possible. Think it's fair for both sides this way. You didn't tell Blank you canceled because of Sinder, did you? No. And basically, they know how bad it looks. We never want to make you feel like we're making you or forcing you to work or not work with us, especially if it's something you do or don't want to do. Again, sorry it sounded to you like I was telling you to only see. It's like, sorry it sounded to you. Sorry it sounded to you. Basically, just not taking responsibility, still being damage control. See if Blank wants a Nano model or not. Hope Blank finds someone else. And it says the constant obsession with VTuber 1 and claim that she's asking for it because of unspoken competition is coming from absolutely no other source than Sinder themselves. I think it's more like wanting her to recognize Sinder. It literally doesn't matter. There's unspoken competition between them. I never saw it that way. And I don't think Bao ever saw it that way. That's why Bao is so hurt by this. And it's just like, at the end of the day, marketing potential, money they could make if they teamed up. Anything we do, she's watching and I will take from to try and outdo. Basically, they're saying, it's Bao, it's Bao, it's Bao, who is, trying to outdo us, trying to compete with us, trying to make sure everything that we do, they copy and they do, and they make it better, and they make it better, and they make it better, and they make it, so that we look bad. And it says, Blank streamed yesterday, first stream since Sinder debut. Guess what? Spinning figure and figure next to it. Then, like a month later, unfollowed her on Twitter and started taking her ideas, Sinder's ideas, like flames, basically rebranded to more of a fire service. Oh, this is another VTuber as well. Using fire emojis all the time. You can take inspiration. You can follow is strange, yes, but you can take inspiration. You're taking it a little bit too far. It is the irony of expecting to be entitled to the recognition for their own efforts and size when their own active efforts are tied to sabotaging this very same VTuber. So I don't know if it was Buff Pup or someone else that we're talking about. Could be anybody really in that big space. It really could. And it is a damn shame that this is happening. Now, I want to talk about other people that are having this issue. Bao. Poor Bao. She is heartbroken about this. There's going to be a little bit of a part 2 here. So let's talk about Bao. Bao the Whale is someone who, of course, we all know by now. A lot of people know. Those who don't, that's why I'm showing you here. She is a wonderful whale here who has had a lot of fun things, a lot of things that have been pushing her up, have been making her stronger, have been making her get a lot of new viewers, a lot of new things like that. But unfortunately, last night, she, as of this recording of this, I'm recording this on the 26th, 10:48 p.m. on the 25th was when this was done. Unfortunately, she was found to have been hurt by a friend. I went over a lot of the things in the earlier part, but she's trying to say here that before she starts, she wants to point out she's addressing both Sinder and Redacted, despite mentioning to be largely from Redacted. Occurs several times. Someone who's close to and worked with Sinder for years. And other people who've worked with Sinder for years say that, yes, Redacted was her boyfriend at one point. Not sure if they still are, but it was a significant other. It's that experience that leads me to believe that requests and messages sent by Red were both known about and approved of by Sinder. So this is from someone who knows Sinder. So it is not like someone being like, oh, well, we're assuming it's them. This is a friend saying, yes, it is very likely that Sinder knew about all of this stuff. It's very likely that Sinder okayed all of this stuff. March 24, she had one of her subathon goals being a Live 2D. Nanoless was going to be the Live 2D illustrator. After she finished both the design and sketch, suddenly a back and forth of whether or not she had the physical and mental capacity to continue the model. Now we know that was because Redacted was being snaky. Redacted and Sinder, I'm going to use them. When I say Redacted, I mean Redacted and Sinder, because they were working as a team. It seems like from everything I'm seeing, of course, this is my assumption, but this is assumption based on what Bao is saying, someone who really knows Sinder and has been close to Sinder for a long time. I saw them as like really good friends, and it really sucks that this happened. I now realize that the reason for her silence was because Sinder and Redacted were deliberately sabotaging ongoing commissions and blocking VTubers, such as myself, from having access to art from Nanoless. And there it goes, remember, about the exclusivity that we talked about before. This whole thing should never have happened, honestly. They're trying to do this whole thing, and also, again, going through the same stuff about, you know, the gamer subs giving priority to Bao and others other than Sinder. Sinder feeling, I guess, jealous. Sinder feeling left out. Sinder feeling competition. Kind of wanted to go on the attack. And as you saw with what Redacted showed, that Sinder knew about the exclusivity thing. Sinder knew about everything and was one of the people who pushed it based on what we saw. Based on what we saw, it's easy to see that Sinder was one of the people behind it. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that happened originally was from 2023. People do change. Hopefully she does. And this is going to be a big hit on Sinder, unfortunately. It does suck. But when you act like a bee, you're going to get called out. You are going to get called out. Anybody who acts like a bee, a guy, a woman, whatever, anybody who acts like an a-hole ends up getting called out. They may hide for a long time, but eventually everything comes out. These are all the same thing. And again, now let's ask Redacted on why did you encourage her not to finish the model. Redacted lists the name amongst various other VTubers, as well as the vendetta Sinder and Redacted harbor against each. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor, constantly picking up artists we work with. Now she's bringing up, barking up the tree of one of our Live 2D animators. Has a way of guilt-tripping others to get her way. Redacted lists reasons why Nanoless should cancel her ongoing Live 2D commission, and that kind of stuff. Friends do not sabotage other friends. That's the main thing. Whether business opportunities or other things. You do not do that. Friends do not spread lies to fuel selfish narratives. Friends do not use private information they get from the privilege of being close friends just to use it to manipulate others. If stepping on your friends and abusing your power and connections is how you get to the top, then I hope you realize no one will be left when you get there. More screenshots of them urging Nanoless to cancel the ongoing live duty commission, even mentioning how excited I was about it when I showed it to them. The design during Sinder and I's concert at WeebCon 2024. Those areas are short, thinks he's fine with taking the design and finding someone else, wouldn't offer it for free, for half price, etc. Regarding the messages where Sinder and Redacted openly accused her of stealing the YouTube editor. It says right here, "Hey Kaiser, nice to meet you. I was watching your stream highlight from me and Sinder's collab, and I really loved your editing style and humor. I was curious if I could request a video from you every now and then, if you have any availability. Username is Bao on Discord if you want to chit-chat more on there." There is no stealing there. There's a request from someone that you saw did a really good job. There is no, as I said here, manipulation techniques. There is no guilt tripping, as was mentioned up here. There is none of that. Hijacked the YouTube editor. Kaiser as a mutual YouTube channel editor for myself and Sinder. Challenger manager June and I asked Kaiser for one stream highlight per month, as we were aware of his extensive position as Sinder's channel manager. So they knew, and she did not want to take someone away from her friend. So Bao is the good friend here. Sinder seems to not be such a good friend, at least at the time when all this stuff was happening. March 20th, I started a group Discord chat, a call. That's for 5 hours to hang out with the editors. We called Kaiser, shared with us that he was afraid to ask Sinder for a raise because he initially turned down an exclusivity deal. As a friend of both Sinder and Kaiser, I encouraged him to take the deal and reassured him that I would not change the friendship, as I would never want someone I care about to miss an opportunity, even if it meant I would lose him as an editor. The other editors who were on call can corroborate this. So even though Bao was going to lose an editor, he's like, you know what? You're a friend. Before you're an editor, you are a friend. This is an amazing opportunity. You're going to get a lot of benefit from this. Take it. It's okay if I lose you for a bit. I'm still going to have you as a friend. I may lose you as an editor, but that shows the kindness that Bao has. And it shows the snakiness that Sinder showed, at least at that time when this was happening. Sharing the context because there are no words to describe how hurt and betrayed I feel now. Knowing that on the other side of this conversation, Sinder and Redacted were actively portraying me as a thief and a detriment to the business. I have only ever supported them and their activities, never once thought I had somehow gotten on their nerves. Bao had original songs last year, music videos by her editor, and the songs flopped. That was the whole thing that I mentioned before. 99% sure she told him, Sacramore, not to do any more with us, Boss Rush music videos. So Sacramore was someone who did the Boss Rush music video. And of course, that was one of the people who did the things in the comms and stuff. Super weird. Made it public on Twitter, and then he was only working with her going forward, like literal announcement tweet. It was a decision that the person made, Sacramore. To finish up 2 more comms for peeps, I'll be shutting down my comms forever and editing anonymous in-house for Bao VTuber. Freelance has been fun, get to work with a lot of really cool people, but I'm putting myself in Bao content as my only priority for the future. Anonymous in-house as in will never be credited publicly, so no one knows who does this for Bao. That's literally it, very true, but here's the thing. Guess what? Not Bao. Sinder, you said it's only business, right? Business is business, right? There's no reason why you should be angry that someone who's in a business, Sacramore, decided that they were going to go and stay in business with Bao and not you. That is not a personal decision. That is not a personal vendetta against you. That is not them, slapping you in the face. That is them making a business decision. Remember, you said business is business, and so did Redacted. So there's no reason you should be angry at this. Sinder and Redacted are referring to my animator, Sacramore, whom I have been working with since 2023. Go to bed, but give me your rate and turnaround time for a video. This was back in 2023. Proof of how long we have worked together. In 2024, Sack asked me if he could go complete exclusive for me and work for me in-house with no credit in order for him to be able to quietly work on his personal projects and brand without having VTubers asking him for more commission work. Happy to accept. I want to reiterate that this was Sacramore's decision and no one else's. Here is proof of Sack mentioning his wishes to be in-house animator directly to my channel manager, June Bepis, back in December 2024, refuting Redacted's claims that I locked Sacramore up. So it's fine if I go forward and don't be credited in video descriptions. Okay, thank you. I'd rather just be more of an in-house type. For Bao, after this thing is done. It's the last commission I'll ever do for anyone besides Bao. Want to make a name for myself through my own content and not really work with any others this year. Why aren't you solving this privately? That is what pissed me off about my situation that happened in the past. There is the reason why I am maybe a little biased in the situation. Maybe a little biased. Is I have had a friend of 4 years, as I mentioned before, stab me in the back, not even talk to me about anything. They just went and made me out to be the worst person in the world. People still believe them about that, but they decided to make a Google Doc instead of talking to me. Bao is making this Google Doc because she got attacked, because she feels betrayed, because she wants to clear things up. She's not the first one to put it out. Nanoless was. So she had no idea there was this issue until Nanoless brought it up. She had no idea that this was an issue until she saw it yesterday, and her whole world was shattered. It says, I found out about this less than 48 hours ago, and they did not give common courtesy of talking to me privately about this over the years. My thoughts, feelings, my most vulnerable, darkest moments that I shared in confidence with people I thought would be by my side for years and years from now may have been used as information to ruin my chances to have the same VTuber model as someone I thought was my friend. And I don't know how I can ever be the same after this. I don't know how I would be able to be that either. I'd like to ask the community to refrain from spreading any harmful speculation. Everything shared in this document is done with the express permission of those who shared it with me. So yes, that's one thing, of course. Do not attack anybody. I have my opinions in here. They are my opinions. I stand by them. But I will not go to Sinders' Twitter and call her names or attack or go to her. I'm probably going to be blocked after this. I wouldn't doubt it. Because when you call people out, a lot of times you get blocked. That's fine. That's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm probably going to be blocked by Cinder and probably people who like her. That's fine. I'm going to continue on with the next part, of course, because this is a long one. Like I said, buckle up. It's quite a ride. Bao the Whale had mentioned Sakamore. Sakamore is a animator, as she said there. She's an in-house animator for her, and has been working with her since 2020. Had also been working with Cinder and other people. They wanted to get their name out with more personal projects and things that they were doing instead of doing stuff for other people, just specific projects that they wanted to do. So that's a little bit of background on this side. And of course, they need to address the many things that are being said about them. Of course, here, asked Bao to go anonymous and in-house because I wanted to focus on my own projects for 2025. It said 2023 to 2024, doing videos for others. So that's basically the same thing. In general, being just an editor is not long-term sustaining in most scenarios, hence why a large majority of either turn becoming managers or their own content creators with their own platforms. So she wanted to be left alone. Sakamore wanted to be left alone. He or she wanted to be left alone other than editing for other people. And of course, they are mentioning all these things here of, Sakamore, all these things, some context missing, all these things here. When me and Cinder initially discussed working as a music video at TwitchCon, everything was fine and friendly. However, the part that is stated as practically jumped through hoops is, well, a bit of an overstatement, to say at least, since they had asked me a significant amount of times trying to get me to work with them. So this whole thing, Bao's editor, Sakamore, was jumping through hoops ever since the failure of, what they say, the flop of Bao's music video. Remember that part? So Sakamore's like, no, I didn't jump through hoops. You guys asked me a ton of times for trying to get that commission, and I eventually was like, okay, let's work this out. Wouldn't happen to be available for a music video in a week or two. See, that was them asking first. I'm completely full every day this month, and earliest I could do is November 9th. Just checking, thank you, no problem. Sorry to bother you, but I'll know the exact release date since I could try working something out if all you want. By 22nd-ish, it's alright, let you know in 2 to 3 days. And there you go, thanks for waiting. Trying to figure out any feasible way I could do Cinder, because of course, Cinder's a big opportunity too. But moving in my new apartment this week and the Halloween stuff, they couldn't do it. How long does it take for you to edit a music video? Of course, they want to know. And of course, they say here, let me try to make it bigger for you guys. It says here that it depends, complexity, length. I'm sorry that it is much, much smaller than it should be. But yeah, it is as big as I can make it for whatever reason. How do you feel about giving me your everything from the music video now? Work on it in between your other projects. Really would love to be able to squeeze y'all in, and absolutely would if I could, but generally can't. And then that's when they say, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. That's when they start bad-mouthing them to Nanoless for whatever reason. When was it? You're free again. Things will be pushed back a lot, November 9th. When it's ready, LMFAO, probably start a day or two. So this is them talking about it. This is them proving that it was Redacted who reached out, not Sack. But Sack was trying to, Sakamore was trying to get people in, trying to make sure to work with everybody, not burning any bridges, that type of thing. Lots of animated text in different fonts. Is it just one still image she's using for artwork? No, I can send you more details. That should be good. Again, they continue talking about availability. I'd be super down to do it and really hope to be able to work with Cinder on the video, but my schedule's always super packed. What if you pay you double? So they're trying to bribe them. We can send an invoice to blank whenever we get paid ASAP. Not sure what they're on about. Bao not knowing about me working with them, since I asked Bao with Sinder and Red standing right next to me at TwitchCon. They're like, oh, Bao doesn't know about me working with him, about Sack working with him. As they were saying here, you know, they mentioned that, you know, in the DMs with the Discord DMs with Nanoless. This is really messed up, honestly, because this is frustrating to see in the indie VTuber community. I don't like competitiveness in the indie VTuber community. It's supposed to be that's why I do VTuber showcases and stuff like that. It's supposed to be about positivity, not trying to tear each other down. Bao did know, Cinder did know, and Red did know, because they were all in the same place when they talked about it. And she had no problems with it at all. So there you go. Come bearing gifts. Hope your girlies like it. Also, she was pushed back for the reason that the video wasn't done yet. However, this part has really got under my skin due to the fact that it was a straight up not true. And if something goes wrong in the video production line, no matter who's at fault, the blame will fall on the editor animator pretty much every time. That does suck. So it felt as if I was getting passive aggressively blamed on stream in front of thousands for lateness. Really upset me since the video was not late, even under a very tight deadline, where I did not even receive all the artwork until the 18th. The first full master until the 19th. And was asked then to also make a teaser version as well as an ad by the 21st. That is very short deadline. Anyone who does any animation, anyone who does editing, knows that holy crap, this deadline is super short. It should not be that short. What the heck were they thinking? It's like, didn't I receive the merch assets until the 27th? It's like it was being rushed to hell because Redacted and Cinder weren't sending things out properly. It says chorus, color changes, tricky eye fix. Chorus trailer for Twitter, individual trailers for Twitter as well. Even with the revisions and all the extra trailers, the video was completed and delivered on time, with enough time for YouTube to process the 4K version. There's probably more that I should clarify since I'm aware of unbelievably poorly organized, but I'm very tired, and this is, you know, they did as much as they could. So, all in out, Redacted is a liar. Cinder, from what it shows here, has been called out again and again. Also, by Rain, who is a VA guy who does music and other things. Not a big presence in Twitter, but they have had experiences as well. When everybody is talking about you, when you have 4 different documents coming out about you, there's something wrong. You need to take a look at yourself and say, damn, I messed up. I really messed up. I should not have been competitive. An apology would be best in this situation. Although, as it usually ends up happening, they probably try to throw someone else under the bus. So Cinder and I met while she was running her Tashi MP3 YouTube channel, which Cinder's very open about. So this isn't a doxing of anybody. Cinder has been open about it in her actual streams, where she has heard some of her Tashi stuff and cringed on it as well. So this isn't anyone doxing anybody. And it'll come up later. With time she was only starting her account, already had my own ASMR ARP channel with 8K subscribers. Bigger channel than her, she couldn't wait to work with someone as talented as me. I don't believe that someone so talented likes my voice enough to want to work together. We never ended up actually making any content together, but didn't stop us from talking pretty much every day. Pretty much immediately she was flirting with me, despite, as you can see here, having a boyfriend. And both of us knowing she had a boyfriend, including regularly talking S about him to me, while telling me how great it would be were I to replace him. So this is straight up cheating at this point. This is not good. Besides, you said it's hard when your boyfriend is far, far away. I'm not your boyfriend, am I? No, but how nice that would be. You're perfect boyfriend material. Someone who's in a relationship doesn't do this. And here's the thing. For someone like Rain to basically throw themselves under the bus to call you out on your BS and on your cheating, pretty much, because it's still emotional cheating is still cheating. Saying these things is still cheating. In order for somebody to take the risk, for him to take the risk of being seen like an asshole, they don't care. They want to call you out because you did such horrible stuff. You know you messed up and you know you should fix it. This was, of course, you, Cinder, 5 years ago. This was Cinder 5 years ago, so people change. But still, when you're an adult, unless you really are getting like actual consequences for what you do, you're not gonna fix things. You're just not. It's just, unfortunately, that's how people work. So you want to go at it behind his back? How sneaky. Hi, honey. I've been talking to this guy about how badly I want him to F me since you wanted to buy a fleshlight instead of giving me any attention when I'm needy. Effing oof. Literally, why would you even need a fleshlight when you have a girlfriend? He sent me a screenshot a couple weeks ago telling me he was getting one, and the nerve to use it in front of me to show how great it was. I mean, that's a dick move. I'll say that. That's definitely, you don't effing do that. You don't freaking do that. Especially with your girlfriend there. You can maybe say, hey, can you, maybe make a game out of it. Maybe make it, I don't know, like she's edging you. I don't know. You can do something else. But the F, it's like inviting you to chatterbait room when you watch me F someone else in the ways that said I want you to F me. Isn't that great? And these all could be lies, by the way. These all could be very much lies because these are coming from a woman who wants to have this person with them. So these are all, this isn't an RP, by the way. This is all them talking to each other. Again, this Rain is feeling bad. He asked me if I was okay with it after I explained how I felt. He told me it was too late to do anything about it because it was shipped and he kept it. And of course, Rain is saying here, far be it from me to give you any advice. It's your relationship, and the only one's going to get decided that it's okay is you. Basically, that kind of stuff. It is honestly very messed up. It is honestly very, very messed up. This whole thing should not have happened. It should not have been this way. I really like this whole thing here, basically. And I've just been really stressed about everything, and talking to you makes me feel so much better. I didn't want to lose what I had. I don't believe you're an awful person. Basically, she's saying she's an awful person, trying to guilt trip, etc. So sorry, I don't know what I'd do without you. I'm not saying to stop talking to me completely. I'd still be there to support you, whichever decision you end up making. But they're trying to put, like Rain is trying to put, boundaries. And Tashi goes, I love you so much, I don't know how to thank you. Despite what's evidently nothing serious for her and a means to keeping herself occupied, she felt the need to keep stringing me along with proclamations of real love, which again, I was silly to have believed in the first place, but still. I'm always going to love you. For obvious reasons, I won't share any of the explicit sexting, not because of the NSW nature, but I also just don't think it helps. So again, it looked like something was going on down there either way. More than just a text, both date and the contents of the following screenshot proves. It's called Fingering Dear. One reason I felt important to share these details in particular is because I never found out Red got told about what happened. Basically, Red may have never known. Because, of course, why would they need to know? If Cinder is not going to get caught, if Cinder is not going to have anyone say anything, then, of course, she's going to keep it. She's going to keep it quiet. After Cinder got done using me for fleeting sexual gratification, conversation slowed down, exacerbated by Cinder's character coming into fruition, finding immediate success. I stopped making content for a decent length of time by then, that she no longer felt she could ladder climb. So this is, of course, his assumption, but it seems like it based on this. In Series Exam 4, I haven't been on Discord account super often, so I missed it a bit. And, of course, she made a group chat without me. I kid, but yeah, there were entrance exams. Congrats on passing them. I've been on the VTuber side of things, working with commissions and whatnot. It's easier not having multiple ongoing conversations. So, once she became Cinder, even Tashi stopped talking to him, which of course, it's their right to, whether they want to or not. But still, this is really messed up. Message you at this time, in 2022, if you don't want to remember who I am, I'd never forget you, according to what they're saying here. 10:07. She stopped using that account altogether and committed fully to Cinder. Never heard from her again. And I was uncannily aware what happened even back then. Pretty much it. Isn't meant to be a witch hunt. We all make mistakes. Basically showing a little bit of... This is more showing the character behind Cinder. I'm going to throw this one at the end because it's kind of funny for me to see in retrospect. Thanks for reading. Don't forget about me when you become a big popular VTuber or YouTuber. Yeah, that's kind of what you did, Cinder. Now, to finish this all up. Of course, it has been several hours since this happened. And Cinder has had a chance to respond. It's right here. She says, effective immediately. Redacted will no longer be managing or overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a creator, my brand, or my intentions. So before this, they did. That is the thing. Like, she is throwing him under the bus, or trying to throw him under the bus. Her ex-boyfriend, her ex-manager now. But they were really close. Close enough that even Bao is like, yeah, if he's saying it, it's because she's telling him to say it at this point. And Van Peaches says here, I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before the first debut like 4 years ago. Told me he was your boyfriend. Then before he met for TwitchCon, you switched it up and said, just so you know, my manager's coming with me on this trip. As if I didn't know who he was. It's even ickier to read the tweet knowing he's your significant other, and you're probably going to try to avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who trusted you as a friend by nuking the Red side of this duo. This is really, like, and people are saying, you know, Shonda said VTubers already have a boyfriend or girlfriend that is currently their manager. She is a prophet. Internet, no, they don't. STFU. I fired Red. He doesn't align with me anymore. Someone revealed he is Sinders' boyfriend. So yeah, this is the worst type of controlling the situation. The worst type of thing here that you can do. Cinder, unless she gets a PR representative, is going to... her reputation's already down the drain at this point. It's going to take a while for her to recover from this. A while for her to recover from this. If she ever can. She's already lost the trust of Bao. She's hurt a really close friend in Bao for being this way, no matter how long it was. You were friends for years. You could have talked about it, being like, look, I'm feeling some negative thoughts. I'm feeling some negative stuff about this, and that. I'm very sorry about that. Can we talk about this? That type of thing. I feel like you're trying to take away somebody. Talk about it. I have been a victim of it. I'm going to repeat it for the third time. Of a friend of 4 years, a VTuber friend, who decided to go on VTuber Twitter, make a doc about me, making me out character assassinations and stuff like that, instead of talking to me. I've had other people who hate me who have given me more respect than someone who was a friend. People who hate Bao probably have given her more respect than Cinder has shown her right now. The reason why I've been so aggressive, the reason why I've been so, not angry at the whole situation, is because this is a friend betraying a friend. I'm not really either like a huge Cinder fan, Bao fan, Lily fan, etc. But this, because of my personal experience with this whole situation, situations of friends stabbing in the back, it's painful. It's still painful for me for what happened to me back in the day. This is something that is never going to leave Bao, because these betrayals from friends never leave you. Your friend is going to move on. For example, Cinder's going to move on. The person who did it to me has moved on. It doesn't give a fuck. But I'm here to pick up the pieces. I still am picking up the pieces. Because, number one, I'm autistic, so I hyper-focus, hyper-fixate on things. They don't leave. I have a little bit of OCD, and I also have heavy anxiety and ADHD. So all those things mixed into one make it very hard for me to forget these things. And I know Bao, the way that she has shown herself, the kind of person that she has shown herself to be, this is going to hurt her for a very long time. So, of course, show Bao all the love you can. If you don't like Cinder at this point anymore, just block, ignore, move on. Don't send hate. Don't send aggression towards them. Don't be an a-hole to them. Just block, remove them from your whole existence, move on, as Bao is going to have to do now, which is what really sucks. And, of course, people back here are also saying, someone who represents you and your intentions should never be someone like that. There's no amount of I'm sorry or bad judgment you can have in the situation. You need to actually own up to it and be ready to not be forgiven by lots of people. You did bad things. End of story. Pushing the blame onto your manager isn't really the move. This is not a good PR move. It's not a good move overall. It shows even more so that your personality is not that good. It shows even more so that you do not want to take responsibility for what you did. You were a part of this. It wasn't just Red doing everything. You were a part of this as well, as Nanoless showed. So you take responsibility for what you've done. I have done the same for my side. I take responsibility for the mistakes I've made. I always try to own up to them. I've made many. I'm going to make many. You probably will see this as a mistake. You're probably going to comment in the comments if you want to, whatever, about all the mistakes I've done. I've done many, and I've apologized for them in videos. I've made corrections in videos. Hell, I made apology videos where I'm like, yep, I messed up. I take full responsibility for it. I'm going to try to be better. And I'm still going to mess up in the future, but I'm going to try to be better. I do hope that Cinder becomes better. I hope that, yes, I don't hope that she loses people, but she is going to lose a lot of people. She's going to lose a lot of subs. She's going to lose followers, etc. The people who are very social with her, or, whatever, aren't going to be lost, but a lot of people who were maybe thinking of eventually going there now can see when they search Cinder, they're going to see all this other stuff happen with Bao. It is really sad that this is happening. And yes, I'm ranting a little bit, but I do hope that you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hate that this happened at all. Thank you so much for watching. That is all the news that we have for today. Please let me know down below if you want to know any more news, or if you have any comments regarding anything that you saw here, which I will try my best to respond to. I love seeing your comments down below. Of course, as well, like and subscribe to the channel. That will give you more information every single day. I do 2 videos a day, so hopefully you enjoy.